Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, September 18th. For introduction purposes, my name is Todd Wilchin. I am the chair of the county board this year. On my left, we have fellow commissioners Bill Avery and Deb Shore. On my right, fellow commissioners Roma Amundsen and Vice Chair Jennifer Brinkman. Joining us this morning from the county attorney's office is Jen Holloway. From the county clerk's office, we have the county clerk, Dan Nolte, and Monet McCollum. From the county board office, we will have our chief administrative officer, Carrie Egan, joining us momentarily. We also have the the deputy chief administrative officer, Ann Ames. Now, if you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, would you please start the agenda?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, September 11th, 2018.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the last Board of Commissioners meeting held last Tuesday. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Brinkman?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundsen?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through September 18th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve all claims processed through today. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundsen?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Wilchin?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 3, special presentation, recognition of the County City Building Art Exhibit, Keith D. Buswell.
Yeah. Come on up, Mr. Buswell. This will give you an opportunity to brief us on your exhibit out in the foyer.
Of course.
Step over in front of the microphone.
There we are. So my exhibit's out here in the foyer. It's a little representation of ourselves as trees. With the exhibit, I tried to show the community as represented by trees and the self as trees. I really thank the committee for letting me show my work out here. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
Commissioner Shore has a question.
Tell us a little bit how you got started in art, how long you've been working in this medium, a little bit
Sure.
about your background.
Sure. So I primarily work with etchings. It's doing copper plates and putting in an acid bath to create marks on the plate and then printing it. I've been doing this for about 4 years now. I'm going to be graduating from UNL with a degree in art printmaking this December. And yeah, it's been a wild ride, to be quite honest.
Commissioner Amundsen.
How do you come up with the names? For example, how your title works. I was looking at the one with the eggplant, and
Yes.
particularly with the 2 eggplants, and that really particularly caught my eye. How do you come up with the titles or the names or whatever?
There's a couple different ways I do that. It first started out with how I could create myself in an environment, a new environment, and I like the thought of an uprooted plant as myself, as the uprooted plant. So I came up with different places that I've been to. For instance, the first one I did was for Florence, called Forenza, which I actually did in Florence. And then it kind of evolved into different aspects of things I was interested in life. I took a logic class, so I wanted to create works of art that kind of dealt with logical operators, and that kind of evolved into community.
Well, I just was thinking, maybe it was because, you know, you're just delicious.
They are just delicious. Yes.
Yeah.
Any additional questions for Mr. Buswell? Okay, well, thank you again for your time and briefing us on your exhibit.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next is number 4, public hearings. 4A is amending Article 1, Section 6 of the Lincoln Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Program Regulations and Standards to modify emission fees for regulated air pollutants.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Commissioners,
Good
Chairman.
morning. I'm going to go ahead and start the public hearing, so go ahead and the clerk will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Okay, sorry, this is my first time before the Board of Commissioners, so good morning. I'm Shavonna Loster, Director of the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department, and we have 5 resolutions before you this morning of our proposed changes to the user fees charged for services provided by the Environmental Public Health Division to protect the public's health in Lancaster County. These fees were submitted as part of the Health Department's City of Lincoln budget proposal. On August 20th, the Lincoln City Council approved the city resolutions with equivalent fees. These fees will generate needed revenue for environmental public health's mandated work, including inspections, permitting, investigations, education, environmental monitoring, and technical assistance conducted by our professional staff. Most of the fees are proposed to increase incrementally on an average of 3%, and small annual increases have been preferred by the regulated businesses and industries in lieu of larger, less frequent increases. So the first one before you are 4A are changes are proposed for fees charged to regulated businesses and industries in the Lincoln Lancaster Air Pollution Control Regulations and Standards to ensure the department can continue to provide required services, including reviewing, writing and issuing permits, conducting inspections and investigations, monitoring emissions, providing technical consultation, enforcing the regulations. So most of these fees would increase 5%. But this fee proposal was provided to the Air Pollution Control Advisory Board, and over 70 representatives of businesses and industries were sent a letter and an email notifying them and inviting them to attend one of 2 stakeholder feedback meetings that we held in April regarding the proposed fee changes. Following these meetings, staff made minor modifications and presented the changes back to the APCAP Board, which acted to approve the proposed fee changes. Do you have any questions?
Any questions? Okay, Commissioner Avery.
Do any of these fees actually cover the cost of administration or implementation?
They cover the cost for us to be able to do this work, yes. And I have Scott
fully,
Holmes.
fully covers the cost of the service you're providing?
Scott Holmes, yes, they do. This service is all fee-based. This program is fees.
That's rare around here.
Yes, most of our environmental programs are fee-funded, supported by the fees.
Okay, any other questions for our Public Health Director? Seeing none? Okay, thank you. Anyone else in the audience, I guess, wishing to testify in support of amending Article 1, Section 6 of the Lincoln Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Program Regulations and Standards? Anyone wishing to testify in opposition or in the neutral capacity? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing on the Article 1, Section 6 public hearing. Mr. Clerk, would you please see the correlating item?
This would be under new business 5B, a resolution regarding amendments to Article 1, Section 6 of the Lincoln Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Program Regulations and Standards to modify emission fees for regulated air pollutants.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution regarding Amendment Article 1, Section 6. Any discussion? I see Ms. Holloway.
Just a couple for all of the correlating items for the public hearing, 5B through F. There was just some minor changes, like the public hearing date needed updated and just a couple minor corrections that were made, so you guys will sign the corrected versions.
So would you like the motion and a second to include the minor corrections as noted on the copy?
So noted. Any additional discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Bree,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is 4B. This is amending Section 13 of County Resolution R-16-46, procedures for the regulation of on-site wastewater treatment systems in Lancaster County, Nebraska, as provided in Attachment A.
And just swear again.
Okay, going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for the amendment regarding section 13 for the regulation of on-site wastewater treatment systems.
I think we will. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Shavonna Loster, Health Director. So this resolution will update our fees associated with R-16-0046, procedures for the regulation of on-site wastewater treatment systems in Lancaster County. Incremental fee increases address operational costs, which allow the department to provide required services to industry, including reviewing applications for new and repaired wastewater treatment systems, conducting inspections, providing education, conducting investigations, and reviewing rural subdivision plans. The increases under these fees are between $5 and $15, depending on the type of the permit or fee.
Okay, thank you for that information. Any questions? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and see if anyone in the audience wishes to testify in support of this amendment. Anyone wishing to testify in opposition or in the neutral capacity? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing on the amendment for section 13 of the regulation of the on-site wastewater treatment systems. Mr. Clerk, would you please see the correlating item?
5C is a resolution in a matter of amending section 13 of County Resolution R-16-46, procedures for the regulation of on-site wastewater treatment systems in Lancaster County, Nebraska, as provided in attachment A.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution amending section 13 of the regulation of on-site wastewater treatment systems. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4C is amending section 6, 15, and 29 of County Resolution R-16-47, regulations for the operation of body art and piercing establishments in Lancaster County, Nebraska, as provided in attachment A.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the public hearing for the amendment for the regulations of the operation of body art and piercing establishments in the county.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Shavonna Loster, Health Director. So this resolution will update the fees associated with R-16-47, regulations for the operation of body art and piercing establishments. These incremental fee increases address our operational costs, which allow the department to permit and inspect body art and piercing establishments in Lancaster County. And again, these fees range between $5 and $15, depending if it is an initial or renewal permit.
Any questions from Ms. Loster? Commissioner Shore?
Just for clarification, we do not have any of these establishments now outside the city of Lincoln within the county, but the regulations are in place should one apply.
Yes.
Okay. Any additional questions? Okay. Seeing none, I'll go ahead and see if anyone in the audience wishes to testify in support of this amendment to the regulation for operation of body art and piercing establishments. Anyone wishing to testify in opposition or in the neutral capacity? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close this public hearing. Mr. Clerk, would you please see the correlating item?
This will be under new business 5D, a resolution in a matter of amending sections 6, 15, and 29 of County Resolution R-16-47, regulations for the operation of body art and piercing establishments in Lancaster County, Nebraska, as provided in attachment A.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amendments to the regulations for the operation of body art and piercing establishments. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4D is amending the Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Resolution R-16-48 to increase the fee for open burning permits as provided in attachment A.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for the amendment to increase the fee for open burning permits.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Shavonna Loster, Health Director. So this resolution will update our fees associated with R16-48, the open burning permits. This incremental fee increases our operational costs, which allow the department to provide services to achieve and maintain reasonable levels of air quality, which will protect human health and safety and promote the public safety, health, and welfare of Lancaster County. And this is a $5 increase.
Any questions? Okay, seeing none.
Move
Gonna go-
approval.
I'm sorry, that's out of order.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's right.
Going to go ahead and see if anyone in the audience wishes to testify in support of the amendment for the increase to fee for open burn permits. Anyone wishing to testify in opposition or in the neutral capacity? Seeing none, I'll close this public hearing. Mr. Clerk, please see the correlated item.
This is new business 5E, a resolution in the matter of amending the Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Resolution R-16-48 to increase the fee for open burning permits as provided in attachment A.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution increasing the fee for open burning permits. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is another public hearing for E, amending Section 11 of County Resolution R-16-49, procedures for the inspection of on-site water supply systems and on-site wastewater treatment systems prior to sale, transfer, or conveyance of property in Lancaster County, Nebraska, as provided in attachment A.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing regarding the amendment section 11 for the inspection of on-site water supply systems and on-site wastewater treatment systems prior to sale, transfer, or conveyance of property. Go ahead.
Do you solemnly swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Shavonna Loster, Health Director. Okay, so this resolution will update our fees associated with R16-49. These incremental fee increases address our operational costs, which allow the department to inspect the on-site wastewater supply systems and on-site wastewater treatment systems prior to the sale, transfer, or conveyance of property in Lancaster County.
Okay, any
And this
questions?
is a $10 increase. I apologize.
Excellent. Any questions? Yeah. Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and open up, or I guess see if anyone in the from the public wishes to testify in support of this amendment or in opposition in the neutral capacity. Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close this public hearing. Mr. Clerk, please see the correlating item.
This will be 5F, a resolution in the matter of amending Section 11 of County Resolution R-16-49, procedures for the inspection of on-site water supply systems and on-site wastewater treatment systems prior to sale, transfer, or conveyance of property in Lancaster County, Nebraska, as provided in attachment A.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to amend Section 11 of the regarding the inspection of on-site water supply systems and on-site wastewater treatment systems prior to sale, transfer, conveyance of property. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Shavonna.
Thank you.
Next is new business 5A, a special designated license application from Deer Springs Winery for reception at 16255 Adams Street, Lincoln, on Sunday, October 7th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the STL from Deer Springs Winery. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is a resolution authorizing installation of traffic control devices in Lancaster County.
Good morning. Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So sometimes I feel like all I do is approach the board and say, hey, we have this one situation, it's kind of different. And there's a lot of things at county engineering that are kind of different because they require judgment on an individual basis. So this is a stop sign located on the county line. As you may recall from a 1965 state statute, we rotate who maintains the county line every 1.5 miles. And so for some reason, Seward County had a stop sign eastbound on their side of the county line. We had a stop sign northbound on our side of our responsibility of the county line, which makes no sense. Seward County approached us and said, we would consider removing our stop sign if you put a north and south bound stop sign up. We went out, we looked at the situation and decided that a north and south stop sign so that you could have through traffic between Seward and Lancaster County was the correct solution. And so this is a resolution to do that. And are there any questions?
I guess my question is, so if you were to go out to this intersection right now, there would be just 2 stop signs, one for eastbound traffic, one for northbound traffic?
That's correct.
And so vehicles traveling west and south would not have a stop sign?
Correct.
And have there never been an accident there?
There hasn't been any that we've been notified of that were substantial. There are a number of these intersections around the county. You may recall I've been bringing them to you over the last 5 years. We thought we'd caught all of them, but of course our database wouldn't show signs in another county's jurisdiction. And so hopefully this is the last one because we believe that it makes a lot more sense to either have north and south stop signs or east and west stop signs, but not a combination of the two.
I mean, it sounds like we've been fortunate that there wasn't an accident at this intersection.
I never know if we're the most lucky or the most unlucky people.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution authorizing the installation of a traffic control device. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. H is a resolution authorizing the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County Purchasing Agent the ability to issue the Nebraska Department of Revenue's Forms 13 and 17 on behalf of the county.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to authorize the purchasing agent to issue Nebraska Department of Revenue's Forms 13 and 17 on behalf of the county. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Five I is a business associate agreement with Aetna Life Insurance Company to ensure compliance with the Health Insurance and Portability and Accountability Act. The agreement is made part of the Master Services Agreement between Aetna and Lancaster County.
Move approval? Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the business associate agreement with Aetna Life Insurance Company. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. J is a recommendation from the purchasing agent and Human Resources to award a contract for a flexible benefit spending program to Navia Benefit Solutions. The estimated cost of the 4-year term is $35,640.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the award of a contract to Navia Benefit Solutions for a flexible benefit spending program. Any discussion? Commissioner Brinkman?
I think there's some questions or some information forthcoming from the Human Resources Department related to this item that we're going to discuss at the staff meeting on Thursday. So I want to recommend that next week this not be part of the consent agenda as it might normally be, and that we vote on it separately.
And I agree with that. I think, yeah, this is just the first step to award the contract. I think there's some information that we need to discuss on Thursday before we then adopt it next Tuesday. And I'm in agreement that this would be an item not appropriate for the consent agenda. So stay tuned. Seeing no other discussion, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. K is a recommendation from the purchasing agent in Lancaster County Sheriff's Office to award and execute a sole source contract for Power Plus software to Leads Online. The total amount of the order is $6,683.
Good morning, Terry Wagner, Lancaster County Sheriff. This software allows us to access leads online. That software is being used by Lincoln Police Department now for their pawn shop, pawn registration information. And those are critical for us when we're working, certainly property crimes cases, to access the pawn shop information. And so that's why we had to go to this. We budgeted for this, and I talked about it at budget time, so that's what this is, if that's a decent explanation.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award and execute a sole source contract for Power Plus software to Leads Online. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5L is a contract with Dr. Zachariah Siddiqui to provide psychiatric services at the Mental Health Crisis Center for September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019. The cost to the county is $725 per 24-hour coverage period.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Dr. Zachariah Siddiqui. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. M is a contract with Dr. Jose Gary B. Nadala to provide psychiatric services at the Mental Health Crisis Center from August 1st, 2018 through July 31st, 2019. The cost of county is $725 per 24-hour coverage period.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Dr. Nadala. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. N is authorizing Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer, to sign the annual certification form for Lancaster County for the period of July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2018, in accordance with Section 5 and 6 of the Federal Aid Transportation Fund Purchase Sale Agreement between the State of Nebraska Department of Roads and Lancaster County.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So I know that might have a very complex budget, and part of that is these are the funds that you see annually in my budget for highway buyback and bridge buyback. And you also may recall that highway buyback money can be used for bridges, but bridge buyback money cannot be used for highways. And so we're hoping to use some of that money in this current budget year for Saltillo, and in the next budget year to build Bridge F88 on North 14th Street.
Move approval?
Second.
Okay.
Pam,
We have a discussion. Commissioner Avery.
don't get away. Why are the dates here in the past?
You know, I don't really know the answer to that. We have it, the form is typically due this time of year, and we bring it to the board. I suppose we could bring it earlier. We simply have not.
So we're approving something that's already happened.
We certify the funds the year after, so I believe they are always certified after June 30th of 2018 because we are certifying if we spent them during the previous budget year or not, if that clarifies your question
Sort
or
of.
answers your question.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to authorize the county engineer to sign the annual certification form. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5O is a contract with Johnson Diesel Repair to provide annual repair services for construction and purpose-built equipment. The contract shall be effective upon execution by all parties. The cost of county is not to exceed $100,000 for all related contracts.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Johnson Diesel Repair to provide the annual repair services for construction and purpose-built equipment. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. P is a memorandum of understanding between Garcia Chicoine Enterprises, Inc. and Lancaster County using the Nebraska Department of Roads contract number QH1804 to provide on-call guardrail repair and replacement services. The term of the contract is from September 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2019. The pricing will be pursuant to the Nebraska Department of Roads contract. The cost of the county is not to exceed $11,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the MOU with Garcia Coaching Enterprise. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5Q is a grant contract with Hub Central Access Point for young adults in the amount of $18,100 for the Back on Track program through the Nebraska Commission on Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Juvenile Services Aid Grant. The term of the grant contract is July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
Sarah Hoyle, Lincoln Lancaster Human Services Director. This is state competitive funding that is awarded to the county and then passed on to the hub. This is to help students ages 16 through 18 who are struggling in schools with credit deficiencies, truancies. It's targeting schools at Southeast, Northeast, East, and Lincoln High.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Hoyle?
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the grant contract with Hub Central Access Point for young adults. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. R is a grant contract with United Way of Lincoln and Lancaster County an amount of $6,802 for their Service Point food distribution and grants management software programs. The contract is funded by the Joint Budget Committee for the period of July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019.
This contract is a collaboration between the city and the county and United Way to administer grant funding through the Joint Budget Committee funds, city and county funds. It also is a collaboration between United Way, the city and county, and the Center for Children, Family, and the Law for Service Point. The Center for Children, Family, and the Law are the administrators of Service Point. Service Point is a web access system where individuals in need are given cards that they may take to our nonprofit entities to get food. It helps us in our community have a better understanding of what type of need there is with individuals who are needing to get that food service.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Hoyle?
Move approval.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the grant contract with United Way of Lincoln and Lancaster County. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5S are grant contracts funded by the Nebraska Commission on Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice's Community-Based Juvenile Services Aid Grant for the period of July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2019 with the following. Lighthouse, Inc. in amount of $35,543 for the Restorative Practices Program. Volunteer Link in the amount of $46,165 for the Youth Community Services Program. Cedars Youth Services, Inc. in the amount of $20,700 for the Community Policing 5.0 Fund Program. Cedars Youth Services, Inc. in the amount of $5,000 for the Reporting Center Program. Family Services Lincoln in the amount of $25,000 for the School-Based Therapeutic Services Program. Child Guidance Center in the amount of $10,432 for the Diversion Evaluations Program. Child Guidance Center in the amount of $50,236 for the School-Based Therapy Program.
And this funding comes from the predetermined amount of money that the county gets us after we submit a community plan for juvenile justice, and then also after we write a grant application. There are one program director, Bill Mitchner from the Lighthouse, who wants to share more information on his program, and then the partnership that the county sheriff's office has with Cedars, the 5-0 Fun Club.
Good morning. Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lighthouse. So let me tell you a little bit about the restorative practices and the journey that we took. So when I first was introduced to restorative practices, I saw it as a way to help our young people and understand maybe a different consequence route when dealing with our young people at Lighthouse. And over the last couple of years, we have seen such a change in our culture. And we have changed in the way that we even do restorative practices. So initially we saw it as circles when kids got kicked out of Lighthouse, kind of a reactive situation. And since then, we've seen the whole spectrum and understand how to do restorative practices in a different way. And it starts with affective statements, affective questions, then goes to impromptu conversations with young people. We don't want it to get down the line to the circles and the formal conferencing. And so through this collaboration with the community, LPS, and of course our own students, we've seen a decrease even in the number of students that we have leave Lighthouse because of behaviors. And our whole culture at Lighthouse has changed even with staff. So we do restorative practices in our staff meeting. We do restorative practices in every program that we run. So it's been an interesting development and shown a different path for us. So.
Any questions? I guess one I would have is roughly how many participants do you have?
At Lighthouse?
Yeah.
We average at our Lighthouse community-based site between 750 and 950 unduplicated students. And then we also run
That's annually?
That's annually, yeah. So we're currently at between 60 and 80 a day. But then we get duplicated, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then we also run a school-based site at Southeast High School. And we're seeing 100, 125 a day there. So we do all of this everywhere that we're at.
Any other questions? Oh, Commissioner Short.
You said that you had a reduction in the number of students that were asked to leave Lighthouse. Are you tracking that data?
Yeah, so every staff meeting we discuss any incidents that happen at Lighthouse. So if a student is asked to leave, that's obviously an incident that we need to discuss. And then we discuss how we handle each of those incidents and if there's a reoccurring theme. And so that's when you start getting into the formal conferencing and bringing in more of the community members and teachers, parents, that kind of stuff to be involved in the decision making. Because really the idea behind restorative practices is making fair process. And students need to feel like they're part of something fair. And oftentimes if we don't do that, then they're resistant to whatever consequences there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
I'm Sergeant Tommy Trotter with the Sheriff's Office. I've been coordinating this program, the 5-0 Fun Club, with Cedars Youth Services for a little under 2 years now. And we meet twice a month in the evenings with children that Cedars hand selects. Usually about 15 to 20 children. We'll meet with about 4 or 5 of our deputies. And we don't wear uniforms. We meet in settings that are not restrictive. We'll allow the children to get some community service hours if they're under the criminal justice program. They need to do that. So we've done some projects like cleaning up trash areas and doing some projects with like the zoo. We did some landscaping and things like that. But then on the fun side, we also get them out and we do things like paint yourself silly, doing pottery and things like that to give them the idea that, hey, we're cops, but we're just people too, and we're trying to build relationships with the youth, try to get them to more see our side of things, and we get to see their side, and we learn on both sides. We work closely with Cedars, and I appreciate their partnership. I think we have made a difference in the areas, and some of the youth who are at risk, who we don't want to reoffend, and we want them to have that chance before they get into the adult systems. We do surveys before and after, and so the children that are new to the program, they have a poor view of law enforcement. You can see it in the survey. But after they've gone through our program, they opens their eyes a little bit to cops being people, and we think it's making a difference. It's a little hard to measure, but we think it's a good program, and I appreciate the support that we've had through the county board over the last 2 years.
Okay, any questions for Sergeant Trotter? Commissioner Avery?
I'm sorry, I should know this, but I don't. What is the origin of the title 5-0 Fun?
5-0 is a term that's used for just police officers in general. So in the past, kids would see a cop and they'd say, oh, no, it's 5-0. Well, when we had our first meetings 2 years ago, the children picked the name and they decided it was going to be the 5-0 Fun Club.
Oh, there was a TV show about that.
Yeah, Hawaii 5-0, yeah.
Yeah.
Commissioner Amundson?
Have any of the young people said to you, when I grow up, I want to be a cop?
We've had some of that. A lot of the kids are between 13 and 17, so we haven't really been doing this long enough to see anybody really put an effort into recruiting or anything like that. But that's something that we would like to explore as well.
Because they would have an understanding of both
Absolutely.
sides, yeah.
And in fact, tonight, the meeting we're having, we're bringing them here to our office to show them a tour of our law enforcement facility, and we're going to take them out and do a canine demo and things like that. And that's something we've done in the past that's always really well received.
Cool.
And do you know, is this something that's mainstream in other communities across the country, or?
I think, I know Omaha has a similar program where they take children out and they will play basketball and do things like that, but ours is kind of a mix. We're doing more community service projects in addition to the fun program, so we're serving two things. We're helping the children get those hours they need if they're under the criminal justice program and they have to do community service. We're also giving them that opportunity to have that release and relax, and a lot of these children come from lower social economic development areas, and so they don't have the opportunity to go to Defy Gravity or some of the places that we've went. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that update. Appreciate it very much. Okay, with that, entertain a motion to approve these grants.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Okay, second.
Okay, so Commissioner Shore
Move
moved,
approval.
and Commissioner Amundson seconded the motion to approve these contracts funded by the Nebraska Commission on Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Community-Based Juvenile Services Aid Grants. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 6 is consent items. Right-of-way contracts with the following: Alan L. and Bonnie Brandt, Southwest 2nd Street and West Princeton Road, in amount of $271. Craig Family LLC, South First Street and West Rokeby Road, in amount of $271. Amendments to the following contracts: C-17-767 with Nebraska Printing Center for annual supply, envelope supply, and printing. The amendment renews a contract from November 1st, 2018 through October 31st, 2019. The cost of county shall not exceed $25,000. C-15-426 with Pavers, Inc. for annual supply cold mix asphalt. The amendment renews a contract from September 17, 2018 through September 16, 2019. The cost of the county shall not exceed $3,000, and this is a correction of a typographical error on the agenda. C-17-768 with Midwest Services and Sales Company for annual supply grater blades. The amendment renews a contract from October 1st to 2018 through October 3rd, 2019. The cost of county shall not exceed $35,000. C-17-769 with Ware Parts and Equipment, Inc. for the annual supply grater blades. The amendment renews a contract from September 26, 2018 through September 25, 2019. The cost of county shall not exceed $20,000. 6C is change order number 3 to county contract C-18-199 with Tim Cisco Construction LLC for an extension and a completion date from September 28, 2018 to October 28, 2018 due to circumstances beyond the control of the contractor. And D is setting a public hearing on Tuesday, September 25th, 2018 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building regarding the setting of the final tax request for Lancaster County and the Rural Library for Lancaster County.
Move approval of the consent items.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a couple seconds to approve the consent items. Commissioner Avery and Brinkman. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 7 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Anyone from the public here this morning wishing to speak on an item related to county business but not on the agenda, please come forward at this time. Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, would you please proceed with the announcements?
The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, September 20th, 2018 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, September 25th, 2018 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV City. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on Link TV and can be viewed on YouTube.
Move we adjourn?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, that concludes the Board of Commissioners meeting. I'm going to go ahead and start the agenda for the Lancaster County Board of Equalization. Mr. Clerk, would you please start the agenda?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall, on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. In attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the County Assessor's Office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, September 4th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the last Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, September 4th. Any discussion or corrections? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a public hearing. This is for motor vehicle tax exemption applications, and this includes Sisters of Mary, Queen of Mercy, General Shepherd Baptist Church, Lincoln Lutheran School Association, Vital Services, Inc., Lighthouse, Middle Cross Church, the Bridge Behavioral Health, Inc., Northern Lighthouse, Sacred Winds Native United Methodist Church, Great Plains Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church, Goodwill Industries Serving Southeast Nebraska, Inc., Lincoln Lancaster County Habitat for Humanity, Inc., Evangelical United Lutheran Church, Women in Community Services, Inc., and Bryan Medical Center.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for these motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Anyone here to testify in support of them? Anyone wishing to testify in opposition or in the neutral capacity? Seeing none, I'm going to close the motor vehicle tax exemption applications public hearing. Mr. Clerk, would you please see the correlating item number 4?
This is action on motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval?
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is notice of assessed valuation change for property taxation purposes for Kenneth Hunter.
Good morning, Scott Gaines, Deputy Assessor, Register of Deeds. This is a valuation notice we request you send out to the taxpayer. There was a building permit issued for new construction in the village of Denton. Apparently, the village Denton clerk didn't realize that that needed to be forwarded to our office so we could put it on the assessment roll. The taxpayer inquired with our appraiser why the value hadn't been added yet. We discovered this error, so this will simply put the taxpayer on notice of the value, and they would have appeal rights.
Any questions from Mr. Gaines? Commissioner
I guess
Shore?
just a comment. Annually, we meet with the villages and cities in Lancaster County, and this might just be a topic to share information with them about your process, and because the clerks normally attend, it might be just a good refresher on.
Sure.
Okay. Any other discussion? Commissioner Avery?
And did I hear you right? The taxpayer notified your office?
Well, I'm not sure if they notified us or we were out there doing review work, but we had a conversation with the taxpayer, and he said, well, I got a permit, it should be on there. So they're aware that the property was missed because of the failure to provide the permit, and they'll know that they're expecting this to be coming.
We need more taxpayers like that.
Eventually, we find them.
Any other discussion? Okay. I entertain a motion.
Move approval of the valuation change notice.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the notice of assessed valuation change for the property tax purposes for Kenneth Hunter. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 6 is appeal of personal property tax penalty from Whitehead Oil Company.
I think there's a representative from the organization here.
I'm Stacy Nordmeyer. I'm controller with Whitehead Oil Company. We had a personnel change at the end of March, and I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. The gentleman that filed the personal property returns prior to me getting the position left abruptly. It was simply missed. We did not do it on purpose. We have always paid our taxes in the past. This was an honest mistake. In order to not have this mistake happen again, I do have an Outlook reminder on my calendar, so I know that to get the forms prepared and submitted in a timely manner.
Any questions for Ms. Nordmeyer? I guess, Mr. Gaines, could you?
We encounter these frequently, even with good cause, circumstances, whatever. The statute's very rigid and does not allow the board to waive or reduce penalties as long as those penalties were correctly calculated and correctly imposed. And I think the situation here is there's no allegation that they filed timely and the penalty's in error. So we would recommend denial of the request.
Any questions?
And that is a legal requirement that
What I just described is a statute, yes, 77-1233.06.
So, I guess my question for the county attorney would be, to confirm that there is no legal basis for the County Board of Equalization to waive the penalty.
Correct.
Okay.
So, yep, that is the exact statute where you guys don't have the authority to waive any penalties unless, like Scott said, that they were imposed incorrectly or calculated incorrectly, which does not seem to be the case here.
I think part of the reason that is they don't want to put the board in the position of determining what is good cause, what isn't good cause. It's either timely or it's late. That's my impression.
Okay. Any other questions?
Based upon the recommendation of the county assessor, I move we deny the request.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to deny the appeal of personal property tax penalty from Whitehead Oil. Any discussion? I would just say that it's unfortunate that, again, just for how much are we talking about?
I have not seen the total yet. I mean, it's personal property, not real property, so obviously it's a lot less than the property that we have in real estate, but like I said, it will not happen again, so.
And in an effort to avoid uncomfortable situations like this, our office does send out reminders every year to avoid this, and we'll do the best we can to make sure these situations don't fall through the cracks.
And those will come to me now instead of we did find them while cleaning out the office buried, so
was an unfortunate circumstance.
So,
Life happens.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Discover stuff like this on my desk all the time.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah.
okay, any other discussion? Please call the roll.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
thank you.
Number 7 is appeal of assessed valuation change from Zachary Peterson.
I'll give you the background. I don't know if anyone's here on this one. This was a property where the taxpayer owned a house and then the adjoining lot where the garage sat. The taxpayer requested we combine those two parcels into one tax parcel. We did that. In doing so, we neglected to put, and we've brought this notice to you previously, we neglected to put the improvements on the newly combined parcel. So in essence, the 2015 value of the two parcels total was $159,900. In 2016, his value notice would have said $39,000. So obviously something was dropped. We simply, based on that clerical error, had you guys send a notice to say the real value should have been for 16, 17, 18, $153,000 to represent the combined lot with the improvements added. So we'd recommend denial of the protest.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Gaines?
Do you know what the financial impact is to this property owner?
Well, all I can tell you is that the values are going to go from 39 to 153,
right.
which is what they should have been all along. So, you know, as to what an escrow may have done, you would think an escrow company would flag it when the value drops so substantially. I don't know what the tax side of it is.
So I'm assuming what will happen then is he'll be sent a notice and they'll have to pay the back taxes.
He's already been sent the notice.
Okay.
The board approved this notice back August 14th, I believe it was.
Okay.
So he appealed, and you see his information there. I don't think there's anything in his information that says the $153,000 is not an appropriate value.
Good. Any other discussion? Otherwise, I entertain a motion.
I move we deny the appeal of the valuation change.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to deny the appeal of the assessed valuation change from Zachary Peterson. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 8, public comment. Those wishing to speak to items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on agenda may do so at this time.
Okay, anyone from the public wishing to speak on an item related to the County Board of Equalization but not on the agenda, please come forward. Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Brinkman,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, we are adjourned. Have a good week.